know how many times I've started a diet in my life? Honestly, if diet burned calories, well, I'd weigh about 12 pounds by now. I've started diets on Mondays, Tuesdays, on the first of the month, after vacations, after holidays, after a bad day, after a bad weekend, and sometimes particularly enthusiastic afternoon with a bag of potato chips. Apparently, my strategy for years was very simple: eat perfectly, mess up, and then dramatically announce myself that I would start again tomorrow or Monday. Monday was very popular. And through all of that, beating myself up for messing up again. And I'm guessing if you're watching this, well, you might know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the cycle is strangely familiar for so many people. We decide we're going to be good, well, very good, almost saintly, in fact. We make rules, we make plans. Sometimes we even buy new containers, new foods, maybe even a new journal. Because, well, clearly this time we are organized. This time it will work. And for a little while we do great. We eat perfectly. We follow the rules. We feel proud. We feel hopeful. And then one day, something happens. Maybe we have a stressful day. Maybe someone brings donuts into the office. Maybe we're tired or lonely or bored or celebrating or just human, and we eat something that isn't on that dang plan. And the moment that happens, well, something interesting takes place in the mind. We don't simply think, oh, well, that was one cookie. No, no, no. We tend to go straight to, well, I blew it again. Apparently, one cookie has the power to destroy an entire day, a week, and sometimes a full diet plan that took 3 days to design. And once the day is officially declared ruined, the logic that follows is, well, it's quite fascinating. Since the day is ruined anyway, well, we might as well continue ruining it properly. If you're going to fall off the wagon, well, you don't just fall a little bit. No, no, no. We seem to leap off dramatically, grab a muffin on the way down, and then lie in the ditch eating chips, because clearly the day is already lost. Then comes the next step in the cycle, which is the famous restart. We say something like, okay, I'll start again tomorrow. Or the deluxe version, I'll start again Monday. Monday is apparently the magical day when all of our discipline, wisdom, and self-control suddenly returns like migrating birds. But here's the interesting thing. For years, I thought the problem was that I couldn't stick to the diet. I thought the problem was willpower. I thought the problem was food. But eventually, I realized something surprising. The real trap wasn't the eating. The real trap was the restarting. Because every time we restart, we secretly reinforce the same rule in our minds. The rule that says we must do this perfectly or not at all. The rule that says if we slip, well, the whole thing is over. The rule that says one mistake means failure. And once that rule was in place, we're trapped in a loop. Start, be perfect, slip, declare failure, restart, repeat for years. And I lived in that loop for a very long time. I thought discipline meant starting over again and again. I thought motivation meant finding a new plan. But eventually, I saw something I had never really noticed before. People who maintain a healthy weight don't live in this restart cycle at all. They don't dramatically start over every week. They simply continue. And their life isn't filled with food, what to eat, what not to eat, what you shouldn't eat. Even scales, boy, they can dominate your entire day, right? And if they eat something extra, they don't declare the day ruined. They just move on. They eat the next meal. They carry on with their lives. The cookie doesn't become a catastrophe. It's just a cookie. And that realization was a bit shocking to me because in my world, food had the emotional power of a small natural disaster. What finally changed things for me wasn't another diet. It was changing the way I thought about the process. Instead of asking myself how to be perfect, I started asking myself how to continue. Instead of saying I blew it, I started saying, okay, that happened. So what and now what? And that tiny shift changes everything. The trick played a vital part of my recovery. Saying I can, never I can't. It's how you use the I can. More of that, in future videos, because if the goal is perfection, you will always be starting over. But if the goal is simply continuing, there's nothing to restart. You just keep going. And that's the moment where the whole relationship with food begins to change. The drama disappears. The rules soften. The mind relaxes. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I suddenly became a saint around muffins. After all, my entire program is called Mind Over Muffins, not muffins over mind. I still like food. I still enjoy treats. I'm human. But the difference now is that food no longer controls the entire story. One choice doesn't become a crisis. One day doesn't become a failure. And never again to feel failure, that is no way to live. And once that cycle of constant restarting stops, something very interesting happens. Progress finally begins, not dramatic, heroic progress, just steady, quiet progress, the kind that actually lasts. So if you recognize yourself in the starting again cycle, please know that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not weak. You're not lacking discipline. You've simply been following a habit that quietly trains your brain to think it's all or nothing. And once you see that pattern, you can start stepping out of it. Because lasting change doesn't come from restarting perfectly. It comes from continuing imperfectly. And that, as it turns out, is a much kinder way to live. Hi, I'm Liz. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. And hey, if you're visiting again, welcome back. I hope my message is giving you food for thought. There's lots more to come. Meanwhile, take care. Keep smiling until the next time. Bye for now.